December 14th, 2025, 03 a.m. As the first snow blanketed the Donbass, Russian generals believed their time had come. With supply lines strained and terrain frozen, Ukraine was expected to falter. But what happened that morning shattered that illusion. A $500 million military fortress known as Bastion Zero was supposed to be Russia's winter stronghold. Instead, it became a blazing crater, erased in less than 3 hours. Because Ukraine didn't freeze, it adapted, it observed, and when the timing was perfect, it struck with surgical violence. Constructed over 6 months, Bastion Zero was Russia's most ambitious battlefield installation to date. A multi-level stronghold buried beneath concrete and steel, camouflaged with snow netting and thermal masking systems. Inside, 2 armored vehicle hangars, a drone launch silo, satellite-guided missile launchers, reinforced command bunkers with anti-blast doors, and barracks capable of holding over 2,000 troops. This wasn't just a military site, it was a statement. The Kremlin was betting on one thing: that winter would stall Ukraine's momentum, and by spring, Russia would control the east. But that plan required one assumption: that the fortress could not be touched. Ukraine knew better. From late October to early December, Ukraine conducted the most detailed surveillance operation of the war, with satellite data from NATO and thermal mapping via high-altitude drones. They built a full digital twin of Bastion Zero. Every entry point, every vehicle signature, even guard rotations. Signals intercepted by cyber units confirmed that the fortress was the central hub for Russia's eastern supply chain. Dozens of convoys passed through weekly. Encrypted comms ran along newly buried fiber optic lines. It wasn't just a base. It was the nerve center for Russia's next offensive. And that's why it had to be destroyed. December 13th, 21:45 p.m. Fog began forming across the battlefield, a rare cover in midwinter. It was the final piece Ukraine had waited for. Special operations teams deployed jamming towers along the southern approach. Small teams of sappers pre-positioned artillery locating beacons within 8 kilometers of the compound, hidden beneath ice and brush. At 01:15 a.m., the first swarm of decoy drones launched. They mimicked HIMARS and TB2 drone signatures to overload enemy radar. By 2:30 a.m., Russia's Buk and Tor air defense batteries were fully active, firing at shadows. And that's when the real offensive began. 03:02 a.m. Ukraine's 44th Artillery Brigade unleashed a synchronized volley of 24 HIMARS rockets, each programmed with real-time drone coordination and AI-based targeting. Within 30 seconds, key nodes were destroyed. The Western Radar Station, a fuel silo containing 15,000 gallons of diesel, the Drone Uplink Tower, and 2 vehicle depots holding T-90M tanks. Shockwaves shattered every window within the compound. Russian soldiers scrambled to their stations, but their radios were dead. The jamming net was now active, cutting off internal comms across a 30-kilometer radius. The next salvo came from the north.
8 M270 MLRS launchers fired thermobaric shells into the northern trenches where Russian infantry had regrouped. Explosions sucked the oxygen from the air. Ammunition caches detonated, lighting up the sky. And above them all, 2 Bayraktar TB2 drones circled silently, marking escape routes, relaying live footage to Ukrainian command. Within 12 minutes, over 40 Russian vehicles were either on fire or destroyed. Fuel trucks spilled rivers of flame into the snow. The white fields turned black. 04:30 a.m. The Iron Wolves, Ukraine's elite mountain infantry, advanced through fog and flame. With support from Leopard 2 A7 tanks and CV-90 IFVs, they cleared the outer trenches in less than 15 minutes. Their weapons? Smart rifles with thermal optics, ECM units that jammed enemy drones, and loitering munitions pre-programmed to strike fallback zones. Russian resistance was strong, but uncoordinated. With their command bunker offline, field units had no directives. One unit of Russian VDV paratroopers attempted a counter-assault. They were eliminated in under 40 seconds by a Brimstone 3 missile launched from a hidden launcher 7 kilometers away. By 5:30 a.m., the core of Bastion Zero was engulfed in flames. The underground command structure was compromised. Drones captured footage of soldiers retreating into the woods, leaving weapons behind. Over 160 Russian troops were confirmed dead. Dozens more were wounded or captured. Several officers were found in collapsed bunkers, killed by concussive shock waves from bunker buster munitions. As day broke, the magnitude of the strike became clear. A fortress Russia had built over 180 days was destroyed in under 180 minutes. In the chaos, Ukrainian special forces recovered hard drives and encrypted data vaults. Inside, combat orders for upcoming winter offensives, logistics manifests for Iranian drone deliveries, financial records linking the base to covert funding networks in Tehran and North Korea. One file, marked Kraken Route Phase 2, revealed plans for a second base under construction near Melitopol. It was clear now, Bastion Zero was just the beginning. Ukraine's real target wasn't just territory, it was infrastructure, control, command. By noon, satellite photos of the ruined base were broadcast worldwide. Images of craters, charred tanks, and fleeing soldiers filled global headlines. Russian state media blamed a Western-supported cyber attack, but truth spreads faster than propaganda. Within 24 hours, NATO announced a $2.5 billion winter support package for Ukraine. Germany sent advanced drone suppression systems, and France confirmed the delivery of Scalp EG cruise missiles. The West wasn't retreating, it was doubling down. What shook analysts wasn't just the destruction, it was how fast it happened. No heavy airstrikes, no infantry slugfests, just drones, data, precision, and momentum. This was the new warfare, agile, coordinated, ruthless. And it sent a chilling message to every state watching. No fortress is safe. Not in the age of digital eyes, not in the age of AI-guided fire. Russia had waited for winter, built their pride into concrete, poured resources into something they believed couldn't fall. But the lesson was simple. Visibility is vulnerability, and what you build in plain sight can be turned into rubble in the blink of an eye. Bastion Zero was more than a tactical failure. It was Russia's biggest mistake of the war. And Ukraine didn't just destroy it. They broadcasted the message to the world. You can run cables, you can stack missiles, but if we can see it, we can end it. The war isn't slowing, it's evolving. Each battle is more precise, more calculated. So ask yourself, if this was just one fortress, what else is already targeted? And what happens when the next one falls? At night, without warning, without escape?